veins, I've been driving this train. Years in this lane, there's no stopping this flame. Cause I came to the game and I changed it to play how I like, rearranged it to my own domain. Yeah, I got what it takes, made lots of mistakes, taking shots, skipping breaks, feeling lost, feeling great, popping off, singing straight, never stopped, never changed. All the squad here to play, and I've got something to say, yeah. I work hard each and every day, I get lost in the words I say. I don't push pause, no I push play. I won't stop till I make a change. I withdraw on the things I make. I turn flaws into flawless traits. I build tall, never capped in space. I won't stop till I hear him say,
All right. Thank you for joining in to the broadcast. We've got some good stuff today, and I am really excited today to talk about this topic of the metaverse. And first, I want to thank everyone who's watching live. Also, everyone who is watching on the replay and listening in on the podcast, on the audio version of this broadcast. So I really appreciate you. Thank you. Please make sure to subscribe. And that's important because we're really trying to reach as many people as possible. And we can only do that by growing. And we want to be able to share information, to educate, and inform as many people as possible. And for those of you who don't know, my name is Mfon Akpan, the professor, and I am an actual professor of accounting. So I'm assistant professor of accounting. That is what I do for a living. I want to give kudos to Crypto Underdog Research for coming up with that moniker, the professor, which really ties in, I'd say appropriately, because that's what I really do. Also wanted to give a shout out to Underdog Research for putting together this really informative webinar on the public student loan forgiveness program. And I think everyone should take an opportunity to join the webinar, learn as much as possible about it. I know many of my listeners, especially, I have a lot of listeners in India. So this may not apply to you, but you may have some friends, family, relatives it may apply to. Make sure that you take a look. Also on the 20th, I will be giving a free webinar on 501c3. So what it is, how to set it up, and it's more from a practical, strategic sense of approaching a 501c3. So there's going to be a lot of great information for that. That's coming on my end. So that'll be a free webinar. Make sure you sign up, join in, and get that information as well. Now, for those of you who are joining on the audio, I recommend that you go to the YouTube, click the link in the description, go to the YouTube, watch the video. What I like to do, particularly in these videos on the metaverse, I like to host them from the metaverse. So I like to go into the metaverse and give you an idea of what platforms that we have. And I particularly choose free platforms. So the platform that we're using today is called Frames, Verbella. It's through a company called Verbella Frames. And you can set up an account, really a couple of clicks. You've got an account and you are in this metaverse platform. So I like to show them, to give you the opportunity to get involved in the metaverse and see what it is for yourself. And I think that's important, to have your own experience in the metaverse, understanding what it is, how it works, because many times we have people telling us about the metaverse, how it is, what it is, and what we can do with it. And I think that it's very important that we see things for ourselves. So right now, for those of you who are with me on YouTube, I am actually in Verbella Frames in a expo hall. And this is an actual environment that I've used this many times in my classes, particularly when I worked at Savannah College of Art and Design. Shout out to SCAD. So, and you can see one of my course syllabi is in here as well. And I wanted to give you just this is what I call the background video when I'm putting these together. So this is just the eye candy from the metaverse, and hopefully it gives you some ideas of what we have today and what we're able to access. And keep in mind, I'm in here in this environment with just my my laptop computer. So keep that in mind. I'm in here using my computer, no special equipment at all. So the title, to get into what is the metaverse and why is this important? Why does this matter? I got a really great comment on one of the videos, and I wanted to talk about it and to give us something to think about. When we hear the definition of the metaverse, this can mean different things to different people. A sort of broad definition of the metaverse is that it's a 3D model for the internet. Now, of course, we do not have a 3D model for the internet. So I think that's important. For others like myself, when I mention the metaverse, I think of virtual reality. And I tie it to virtual reality or VR, and there's many different levels of what they call immersion in virtual reality. So for those of you who are watching right now, this is one of the lowest levels of immersion because I'm in 2D in a 3D environment. And what does that mean? In practical terms, it means I'm using my laptop computer on a web browser to access this metaverse or VR environment in Verbella Frames. So, and I'm not that immersed in it, but I'm able to partake in it. And I wanted us to kind of step back and think about where this is going. And to do that, I wanted us to really think about where we are today and where we've come from. So if you think about it, and we talk about the internet. So if we look at the definition of the metaverse as a 3D model of the internet, well, let's look at the internet. What's going on with the internet? Well, right now we've got about 62.5% of the world's population is using the internet. And that's interesting because you think about how usage evolved with the internet from primarily you're using computers, right? You had the dial-up, if you remember AOL, and you had the dial-up using the phone lines, to now you've got about 50% of web traffic is through mobile phones, through the smartphone. So you have to think about it. So you've got people using computers, desktops, laptops, and then now half of the web traffic is on mobile phones. Mobile phones had to be invented. These devices had to evolve, and then more and more usage. So when we talk about VR or the metaverse as it is today, we associate that with headsets. So, HTC, Oculus headsets, the Quest, etc. So we associate VR with these hardware, which is not widely adopted. So what are people using right now? And I'm more of the right now because that's what's going to take us into the future. So what we're using right now and what we have right now is going to move us into the future. The other interesting point I wanted to add, so if you think about the internet, just in a raw timeline, we've moved from hardware, right? Computers, desktops, laptops, now 50% of usage on smartphones, right? Then you got to think about social media. So now you've got people who are on the internet, but you're on the internet using specific platforms. And on average, we spend about 2.5 hours, was it in 2022, on social media, on these platforms, which are not connected. And this is important. So we go back to the 3D model of the internet. So if you think about 3D model of the internet, these things are not connected. Fast forward to what we have today. Right now I'm in Verbella Frames. This is a metaverse, right? So this is a virtual reality environment. This is a platform. It's not connected to other platforms, such as spatial. So when I create my avatar in Verbella Frames, I'm not able to take that avatar and go into spatial or Mozilla Hubs. Or if you think about video, I can't go into Fortnite with my Verbella Frames avatar or vice versa. So these various worlds or platforms, if we look at it, they're not connected. Will they be connected? We don't know. So I'm more long on what we have right now. And what we have right now, in my opinion, is more akin to social media. You've got Instagram, you've got TikTok, you've got Snapchat, we've got Verbella Frames, spatial, et cetera, a horizon. So there's so many different platforms, but they're not connected. Will ultimately one win out? Yes. Will things move to what we talk about, the definition of the metaverse being a 3D model of the internet? That I can't say. I don't know. Will that move into that model? You also have to remember, we're in Verbella Frames. There's not that crypto piece. If you go into platforms like Spatial, you can buy NFTs. So now you've got the crypto piece. Or if we get into virtual worlds, will it be something like Sandbox or Decentraland, where you have the whole crypto portion of things? That we don't know. I don't know. And I think what's going to happen is an evolution. But what I think is important for us right now is, and this is for me being a professor and an educator, I think it's very important for us to get involved as much as possible in these virtual worlds, in these virtual spaces, understanding how they work. And I think the more that we understand how these platforms work and what they can do, I think the more we'll be able to see into the future. We'll have an idea of what things will look like as we move forward in time. So this is what I have to say on what is the metaverse. I hope this has been helpful. And as I mentioned, my listeners on audio, take a few minutes, make sure to get on to YouTube so you can see and have an idea of the platforms that are being used. Also, as usual, you've got my information. Reach out to me directly. If you have any questions, you need any help, you can email me at info@mfonakpan.com. Make sure to support the channel. That's always appreciated to move forward and push forward with more and more technology. So I really want to thank everyone for watching, and keep those comments coming to let me know. That really helps me to come up with new ideas and to put new things together. So wish everyone the best. I will be back on Tuesday with a live stream talking about really more on the crypto side of things. All right. Thank you very much.
Cause I've been driving this train, years in this lane, there's no stopping this flame. Cause I came to the game and I changed it to play how I like, rearranged it to my own domain. Yeah, I got what it takes, made lots of mistakes, taking shots, skipping breaks, feeling lost, feeling great, popping off, singing straight, never stopped, never changed. All the squad here to play, and I've got something to say, yeah. I work hard each and every day, I get lost in the words I say. I don't push pause, no I push play. I won't stop till I make a change. I withdraw on the things I make. I turn flaws into flawless traits. I build tall, never capped in space. I won't stop till I hear him say, oh, da, 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 da. And I'm up again. I got tired eyes, need a cup of blend. That's right, in the AM, that's my only friend. No light, just the sun coming up on the horizon.